There's bad news out there for the Austin real estate market. You've been reading the news across the nation. Austin is one of those markets that it gets pointed out as being overvalued, and now many are saying we're reaping the consequences of that. And let me say, hey everyone, I'm Dan Forbes, real estate broker, Forbes Realty, here in the Austin area. Welcome to my channel where you can come for the real estate and just stay for the straight shooting facts. So today I'm going to tell you what the bad news is for the Austin real estate market and my take on where we are and where we are heading. And let me say first that, I get calls and texts and emails almost every single day from people that are moving to the Austin area, relocating here, and I absolutely love it. So if that's you and you're thinking about moving to Austin, moving to Cedar Park, Leander, Liberty Hill, Pflugerville, Round Rock, Georgetown, that's where I work, and I'd be happy to help you if I can. I get emails every day about real estate news, and there's a couple of articles that I see that's related to some recent research. And in particular, these articles point out the Austin real estate market. So let me show you some of this information, which represents bad news for the Austin real estate market. First of all, this headline: U.S. cities where home prices are falling fast. Now, the article goes on to say that CoreLogic, which is a real estate research institution, says that across the nation, from now until June of this time next year, real estate prices should go up about 4.3%. But they're saying that's not going to happen everywhere, and there are some areas where real estate prices, they believe, are likely to fall, and one of those areas they're pointing out is Austin. One of the things pointed out in this article that is that across from 97 large metro markets like Austin, 25% of sellers lowered their price in June. And here we are in August, so the July numbers aren't quite out yet, but I'm seeing that every day and every week. I'm seeing just this last week we had about 19% of our listings that actually lowered their price. But consider what's happened in our market in just the last 2 years, from June 20 to June 2022. We had an increase of appreciation of about 70%. Now, that was the pandemic time. Of course, a lot of people had taken their home off the market. We reached a low months of inventory of about a 2-week supply of homes on the market. That's when we were having bidding wars. That's where I had a listing of $475,000 that sold for $625,000. I had one $350,000 that sold for $450,000. Multiple offers, bidding and listings in those price ranges, easily going $100,000 over the asking price. So it's because of that tremendous amount of appreciation that I would say is actually artificial, because it was created by the pandemic. Many are saying that Austin is overvalued. So that's headline number one. Take a look at headline number two. Here's why housing prices could fall by 20% in 183 cities across the U.S., including Boise, Charlotte, and Austin. Now, there's a lot of metro markets across the United States that were just booming markets during the pandemic, had so many people moving, so few homes on the market, and so much demand that prices started soaring. And the three markets that are mentioned here, Boise, Charlotte, and Austin, was among those that saw the greatest amount of home price acceleration during that time. I just looked it up, and for May of 2020, the median price of homes that sold that month was $280,000, and in May of 2022, the median price was $420 something thousand. So right there is a 50% appreciation in that 24-month period of time. Moody's chief economist believes that Austin is 61% overvalued. Now, that being said, does that mean that Austin prices are going to go down by 61%? Absolutely not. No one is saying that. I don't know of anyone that believes that has any understanding about real estate markets and real estate pricing. But being overvalued does not equal falling real estate prices by that same percentage. Now let me say we have a big difference in our market now. Where we had a 2-week supply of homes on the market, we now have a 3-month supply of homes on the market. Take a look at these two charts. So if you look at this chart, we've gone from about 7,000 active listings in January to over 19,000 active listings now, and that is the most rapid increase in the number of listings that we've seen going back to 2011. So these numbers indicate just how quickly the Austin inventory is increasing. So what does that mean? More supply. Even if demand stays the same, that puts downward pressure on pricing, and that's why we are seeing so many price reductions right now. But here's something that's interesting. Take a look at this chart over the last 10 years showing the active listings, the number of active listings here in our local MLS. Right now we're over 19,000 listings. We'll probably cross over 20,000 listings. But if you take a look at this chart, you'll see that going back over these last 10 years, that amount of listings is not, does not represent an unusual amount. Take a look at it. If you look back in 2013, we were over 20,000 listings. In 2016, 2017, we were over 20,000 active listings. So we're not even at that point yet. That's why I've been saying that what is happening is that our market is normalizing. We're getting back to the way things used to be before the pandemic years. It was not normal for us to have only a 2-week supply of listings on the market. It is normal for us to have about a 3-month supply of listings on the market. So that's what's happening in our market. Keep something in mind. When I say that our market is normalizing, I am not saying that we are not going to swing into a buyer's market. So a normal real estate market has its cycles where it goes from a seller's market to a neutral market to a buyer's market. We are not even yet in a neutral market. A buyer's market is considered about a 5-month supply of homes on the market. So normalizing does not mean that prices are not going to fall. It does not mean that our market is not going to shift into a buyer's market, because it more than likely is going to do that. All right, think with me for a moment about these headlines, and let's suppose one of them is true, that says that Austin prices are going to pull back 20%. I'm seeing homes right now coming off the market, either expiring or withdrawing, that a home price around $700,000. They went through multiple price reductions, and now it's come off the market about $100,000 less than that, about $600,000. But where did it come back from? Last year at this time, we were receiving multiple offers, bidding wars, homes selling $100,000 above the asking price. Well, now we're not getting that type of offers on properties. We are getting more towards what would be the normal market value on those properties. So are prices really dropping 20%? Well, what were they dropping from? They were dropping from inflated multiple offer type of prices. People recently, in the last couple of months, 3 months, have put their home on the market at those inflated multiple offer properties. And now that we're not seeing that, they're dropping the prices $100,000 in order for the property to sell. So you haven't really lost value. You're just not in the same type of market that you were previously. That's what's happening. So what are sellers to do and what are buyers to do? Number one, if you are a seller, if your home is on the market now, or you're thinking about selling your home, then I would suggest that you get it on the market now, that you price it so that you're the best value in the neighborhood, so that you can get it sold now instead of waiting a few months when prices actually might be lower. Now actually take a look at this data from our multiple listing service as to what's going on right now. So in the month of July, we had 2,753 sales. Look at what happened. The median sale price was $490,900 compared to the same period last year, where the median sale price was $470,000. So right now, prices are still higher than they were last year. But note that on average, they sold for 100% of the asking price. Last year it was 108% of the asking price. So if you price your home correctly in this market, you're going to sell right at the asking price. And notice the days on market. Those 2,753 homes that sold in July sold in 10 days. I mean, that's still a fabulous seller's market, but the market's softening, prices are dropping. So my advice to sellers is sell sooner rather than later. Price it right so that you can get the top dollar for your home. My advice to buyers right now is also buy now rather than later. You've seen mortgage rates go up over the past few months. It's predicted that the Fed is going to raise the Fed funds rate another 0.75% in September, and probably 2 more increases this year of at least 0.25% each. So those rates affect the long-term rate, so it's likely that mortgage rates are going to continue to go up. So you'd be better off buying now than buying later. I hope this information is something that you are interested in, like I am, and you want to stay on top of what's going on here in the Austin market. And if you like what you hear, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell so that you'll be notified when new videos are posted, and be sure to smash that thumbs up button. It helps other people find the channel. Right now, you're beginning to see some other videos from my channel. So if you want to know everything there is to know about living here, working here, playing here, take a look around, and always remember, I've got your back and I'm here to help. But you've got to do something. In order for me to help, you've got to do something. Look down in the description below and you'll see how that you can call me, text me, email, heck, I don't care, send me a carrier pigeon. And when you do, I'll respond.